Greetings, traveler. I know it may be tempting not to heed warnings telling you to turn back now, but this one you might want to pay attention to if you're sensitive towards sexual content or foul language in a podcast. We will be swearing during this episode, and we will be talking about some not-so PG-13 things. So this is your one and only chance to turn back now. That being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy whatever the fuck this is.
I don't know, man. I was driving here today. People just don't know how to drive. Like,
I don't know how to drive. We talk about this every single time you
it's
come over here.
No one knows how to drive any time of the week, any time of the day. No, they don't know.
Only we know how to drive.
Of course, that's
I don't know how to drive.
Oh, that's right.
Only Pertusa and I know how to drive. Better than everyone else.
It's kind of like that Ron Swanson meme. Like, the best friend I ever had was the guy that never spoke to me at work. But it's like the best time I ever have driving is when I drive at 2 a.m. and I see all of 2 cars on my drive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me happy.
Oh, the red light's blinking.
Huh?
I think that's our intro, and then, like, when we're actually popular, we remix it into something with actual instruments.
This is the first music tech experience that Taryn gets. We just make him make us an intro.
Make it.
Bronchitis got me freaked up, bro.
He's doing it like his senior caps now.
I'm telling you, y'all call me Young Bronchitis because I'm about to go viral.
We're not.
SoundCloud.
Sound clap.
SoundCloud, link in the description if we have those. I don't know how podcasts work.
We probably don't. Do you know?
I'm hungry.
No, this is being posted on YouTube. There will be a description.
Yeah, but I'm saying no. We don't have a SoundCloud.
Hey, is anybody gonna eat that?
What? The water bottle?
No, the microphone.
If you do, I kill you.
On it earlier.
If you do, I kill you.
God dang, that's a tasty looking microphone.
So today we're going to be talking about podcasts.
Yeah.
Because this is a podcast.
But not our podcast.
No.
Oh, no. Who would want to talk about that?
It's brand new. There's not much to talk about, really.
This is episode 2.
Technically 1 if you don't count the pilot as 1.
We count the pilot as 1.
Okay, so this is episode 2.
What if we count it as 0?
That's what I was saying.
Session 0 for the pilot.
Can you have a -1 episode?
Yes.
That's a question for TJ.
Is it?
He's the math guy.
That's true.
That's valid.
Do you think he could find the quadratic formula applying it to a podcast? Think he could find the y-intercept of a podcast?
Maybe.
I hate math.
I'll have to ask him.
I hate math.
People always saying, find the y-intercept. I'm asking, why the intercept? You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
I have pretty much just committed a war crime.
Do you know if you rotate sharks on the y-axis, they stop functioning?
Have you learned this from experience?
No, I saw a video where this guy, a shark, like, goes to actually attack him, and he grabs its mouth, he grabs its bottom lip and its top lip, and he just spins it.
Oh, you were being legit.
And makes it, like, its tail go up, face go down. And it just stops. It just stops functioning. It can't handle it.
Disclaimer, this is not proper ocean safety. We do not endorse the actions of this individual.
Don't do it, no. But
if you feel compelled to, not because of us.
One is not liable for if you touch a shark and it stops working.
If you figure out if this works, please message us. If you lost a limb, you can pretend like you didn't for the clout.
If you do this and it doesn't work, it's not because of us.
It's not our fault.
If you do this and it does work, we are claiming full credit.
Yep.
You heard it from us.
We will report it to the Catholic Church and ask to be a miracle.
So yeah, podcasts.
Oh yeah, podcasts.
We should also probably introduce ourselves.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forget we do that. Y'all can call me Young Cash Register, aka Pertusa.
Don't call him Young Cash Register.
No, that's copywritten.
You might as well call me the manager, because I'm about to hit you with this work. I'm Levi.
I'm Jordan.
And this is Nope, the Nat 1 podcast.
It really does. It really is Nope, isn't it? I never thought about that.
I didn't
before.
either.
Nope.
It's Nop, if you want to.
No.
No, we're not calling it
Nat
no.
1 Podcast Entertainment.
There we go.
Nope.
LLC.
LLC.
Nopple.
No.
Other podcasts, though, that aren't us. Have you guys watched any podcasts?
I watch one podcast.
I listen to a couple intermittently.
I watch some things that I don't think they're called podcasts, but I listen to them anyway like a podcast.
Yeah. That's what I actually, now that I think about it, I have this thing I do where I only listen to one podcast at any given point in my life ever. Because I've done it with 3 different podcasts. The first one I ever listened to when I was much younger was I listened to the Cox and Crindor in the Morning podcast, which is 2 YouTubers, entertainers, Jesse Cox and Crindor, who good friends and have gamed together for a long time, and they have a morning podcast that you're supposed to listen to like when you're going to work or something. And I used to listen to them because I thought they were fun. I know there was another one in the middle, but I can't remember what it was called. I can't remember much about it. I just remember that there was one in the middle.
Oh.
The missing link, I guess you could call it. And then there's the final one, which I listen to a lot right now, which is the Trash Taste podcast.
Anime.
They don't talk about anime anymore. They don't do it.
Rip.
But they're pretty funny guys. They're funny men. I listen to the Chuckle Sandwich podcast, but I don't listen to that one like long form. I just tune into certain parts that people are like, "Have funny thing happened. Here's a clip." Trash Taste, I listen to all of it.
What about you, Jordan?
I used to be really into Welcome to Night Vale. I haven't been up to date on it in a very long time. I actually got to see one of the live shows, which was very cool. I like a lot of I don't like horror very much. I like horror in the sense of like Addams Family and the Munsters. So anything that's like vaguely spooky. So I've listened to Welcome to Night Vale pretty extensively. I'm currently working my way through the Magnus archives, but I'm not very far into that one yet because I haven't had time. It's Hallowoods. I can't remember the actual title, but it's another like horror-ish podcast that's very cool. And then, of course, D&D podcasts. That's about it.
The only ones I used to watch Check the Wire, which was a podcast done by Northern Lion and Dan Giesling. One mediocre YouTuber that I love, and the other is Dan Giesling. He's a famous Big Brother winner, but is also now he's got a Twitch stream and stuff like that. They stopped doing that one a while ago though, so I haven't watched that in a while. Listened to it. Other than that, there's not many podcasts that I listen to except for Critical Role, but
we're all behind on Critical Role.
we'll get into that when we get into that.
I still need to finish Campaign 2. Technically I'm saying that I finished Campaign 2 because I listened to the last episode of Campaign 2. Or I watched it, and I had no idea what was going on because I was like 60 episodes behind.
I need to finish Campaign 2 and catch up on Campaign 3.
Yes, I am.
Then there's TJ, who in typical TJ form is watching from the beginning.
Yes.
Finish it all in a month. That's probably what he'll do.
That's true. Naruto looking guy. Podcasts are pretty popping right now. Like, I don't know when the first podcast really was. I mean, the first one that felt like a podcast was that one with Zach Galifianakis, Between Two Ferns. I think that was just like interviews, but it really, it
was very podcast-ish.
Yeah, he random guests that he just, you could just listen to it. You didn't have to watch it, I don't think. Other than that, though, podcasts have really popped off since like 2017, 2016. They've been doing everything with them. Like before, it was just like, oh, we're just a couple of fellas or a couple of gals talking about a thing, whatever. And now suddenly there's like the people that do those the scripted ones where they have full like those old radio shows, right?
Yeah.
Where they
That's
would
what
tell
Welcome to
stories.
Night Vale was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is. It's still going.
those are popping off on there. I got a guy at work that I work with. He told me that I need to watch this one called Small Town Murders. All of a sudden, I haven't watched it yet. I probably will check it out. That's another thing that's pretty interesting. True crime seems to have certainly popped off on podcasts as well.
It's kind of become like a hallmark of the genre almost, very
Yeah.
strangely.
Like my mom, bless her heart, loves watching stuff on the History Channel and loves watching those like, no offense, but kind of poorly put together documentaries of crimes where she loves watching that stuff. She would probably love getting into these podcasts, but it's just like kind of like a generation thing where you got the new generation. Like the stuff my mom likes and the stuff that this guy at work likes probably would like the same stuff, just not in the same format.
Yeah.
Mom's like TV, cable only. And then my friend at work's like podcast.
Yeah, actually, we were talking about in the car the true crime genre. There's actually they made a TV about true crime. They made a television show about true crime podcasts. Shut up. They made a television show about true crime podcasts. It was on Hulu. It's called Only Murders in the Building. It's a comedy about this group of people that decides to try to solve a murder in their building because they're all obsessed with the same true crime podcast. And I just think that's kind of funny that, like, when people think about podcasts, usually the first thing they think about is a true crime podcast.
Yeah, it's definitely, the field has changed. It used to be, like, you still got a lot of those, like, pretty much interview podcasts. Like, you got the Hot Ones one where they eat the hot sauce or the pepper. I think there's cold ones where people, like, drink brews and stuff and talk with famous celebrities. You still got those, but those are no longer what people think about now.
Yeah.
They think about true crime, or they think about even like just storytelling podcasts, even D&D podcasts. I feel like have almost taken over the podcast scene as a whole.
Yeah.
Because Critical Role and the Adventure Zone are really, really, really big.
D&D has just gotten so much more mainstream within
That
the
is
past
also true.
within the past few years. I was gonna say decades. I mean, almost decades
Well,
now.
yeah.
Once we get to the 2030s, it'll be decades, because I feel like the 2010s is when D&D started picking up,
The D&D Renaissance.
with 5th edition coming out, and it's still wildly popular, and we're only 1 year in to the 20s. That's weird to say.
Yeah. Podcasts be the new thing. I wonder how long, like, the podcasts really do. They're the radio of nowadays.
Yeah.
I wonder how long they're going to stick around.
Probably about as long as radio did.
Yeah. Well, you know, they say video killed the radio star.
Did podcasts kill the video star?
Wait, how long is the cycle going to go?
It's still the most popular form of, like, it's still the most
Media
popular...
dissemination?
Yeah, it's like the most popular form of media distribution still, just because so many people drive cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really die. It just kind of morphed.
It just kind of flew under the radar, and no one really thinks about it anymore, I think.
Well, I also think it depends on where you're from, because, like, I listen to the radio when I'm up in Columbus for school and stuff, because QFM 96 is the classic rock channel that's pretty good, but I intentionally never turn on the radio when I'm down here at home because I hate the radio station here.
I know, like, my dad, who used to be a trucker and loves the radio, he even now only listens to Spotify for his music. And if there was anything like those radio shows, podcasts, if he liked those, that's what he would be doing. But of course, the radio still goes on. It still exists, and it's not just like military use. Some people still just pop on the radio when they get in the car.
My parents both still listen to just the radio when they're in the car. I don't get it, because I always plug in my phone and listen to whatever I want. Because it's like, if I can pick, I'm going to pick what I want to listen to rather than listen to something that might be in the genre that I like. Again, generational thing.
It's curious for sure. I wonder how long radio is going to stick around with basically radio substitutes still here.
Yeah.
It's really curious.
But that would be weird, wouldn't it, if, like, radio died in our lifetime?
Yeah.
Because then that's something that, like, we don't use it that much, but it's always been here. So we'd be like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah. There's a few things that are sticking around like that, like satellite and cable TV. Still there. I don't know much of no one that uses it.
Yeah.
But
My folks are thinking about dumping it, actually, because we use streaming for everything.
I'm pretty sure that once I have my own home, whenever that's going to be, I'm probably not even going to get cable or satellite. I'm not going to get TV. I'm just going to get a physical TV and then use whatever streaming service that I have that hooks up to a Netflix, Hulu. I almost said Spotify. Disney
Well,
Plus.
I mean, yeah, Spotify.
Do you know they made a true crime TV?
They did?
They did, dude.
I gotta get one of those.
It's maybe we can put Spotify on your true
I
crime
can put
TV.
Spotify on my true
I
crime.
hate you both.
But I mean, between all the podcasts going on, with radio still existing, there's other vestiges we still got, like the satellite and the cable, libraries. A lot of people for like probably a decade, the 2 decades now, people have been like, "Oh, library's dying, it's dead."
No, it's not.
It's still, I mean, they're popping as much as they can.
Yeah,
But
true.
I mean, I don't know if too many libraries full on shutting down. We've had the library in town; it's still going.
I haven't been there in forever.
I haven't been
Neither
either,
have
but
My grandma used to take me all the time when I was little.
but none of them are closing that I've seen. I haven't heard about widespread, like nothing on the news, like everyone stop, the libraries are going extinct. No one is talking about that. The satellite companies are still vibing, mostly because I think a lot of the satellite companies, satellite ain't their main source of revenue or their only source of revenue. It's mostly those communications companies.
A lot of them are like internet providers as well.
Yeah. So I wonder how long these things are going to stick around as options. If they're going to be, like, as we get older, are they going to become so fringe that our kids aren't even going to know, like, satellite, what's that? Or is it going to be still a thing where they're like, oh yeah, I mean, I know satellite, but I don't use it. Or is it going to come back? Is streaming going to die? Everyone stop, streaming has gone extinct.
Okay, to be fair, streaming has already kind of died, and I've had this conversation with people before, that the model of streaming that we have right now, and the way that people are trying to bundle streaming services the way that they are right now, is just cable.
It's just cable
we just
again.
reinvented cable.
It became like hyper oversaturated and then just turned back into cable.
Yeah, well, because everything has its own streaming service now.
Yeah.
ESPN, DC, Hulu,
ESPN has
Disney
its own
Plus.
streaming
Yes.
service.
Paramount, AMC,
Peacock.
Peacock. What's another one? There's another one.
CBS has their
CBS. Well, CBS got absorbed into Paramount.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. Because I know the Big Brother and Survivor used to be on that CBS All Access.
Discovery has their own.
And then you go into like the anime streaming services, and you got Crunchyroll, which got absorbed by Funimation, but both still exist.
Both still exist.
There's
And
that
then-
other one, Verve.
Crunchyroll has a partnership with HBO, with select shows being shown on HBO Max.
So there's just so many of those things. A lot of people still use them, and there's you talk to someone and they go like, "Oh, I don't have Netflix, but I got Hulu, or I got Hulu, and I got HBO, and I got Netflix, but I don't have ESPN Plus."
Yeah. Although the licensing stuff with that drives me up the wall, because I used to pride myself on knowing where everything was streaming at a certain time, and I had a spreadsheet at a certain time. Don't laugh, it's true, I had a spreadsheet. And I had documented like the entire AFI Top 100 list, and I had a cult classics list with like a bunch of different movies and television shows to keep track of where they were. But it became obsolete in like a matter of a year, because I could not keep up with how many times things jump platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I remember hearing the other day that I had some people at work that were complaining about their their satellite bill. And I was just like, you still got those? Like, of course, they're older than me. They got families and stuff. And I'm just like, it's weird, though, because it feels like if you're older, it's like, they're like, oh, I have to have satellite. I have to have a thing. And it's like, do you? Do you know? Because the same people are like, oh, I love Disney Plus. I watch stuff on Disney Plus. And I'm like, how much TV do you watch? Like, my parents are freaks, right? They exclusively watch stuff on satellite. They don't watch anything on streaming services. They love the History Channel and stuff like that. Pawn Stars is their,
Love
The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I'm Rick Harrison.
This is my pawn shop.
If only I could not hear that in my dreams. But they still do all that stuff. But they're kind of old now. They're in their 50s. They're getting up there. Are we gonna still do that? Like, when we get our own houses, are we gonna be like, oh yeah, I need the satellite? I don't see why. I don't know if any of us have ever talked about a satellite show that we watch.
No.
Except I watch Big
No.
Brother. That's about it.
Well, and the stuff that I do watch that is considered live television is usually available a day later on Hulu.
Yeah.
So there's really no point in waiting. Like, by the time I would get to watch it, it would be on Hulu anyway, because recording is a thing, and that's usually, if I'm watching something on the satellite television, it's through the DVR.
Yeah. And then even then, there's people used to watch TV shows because it was like the best entertainment you could get. But with the internet now, like, we got these podcasts. Everyone's watching podcasts, or you got YouTube videos and YouTubers.
Audiobooks
You got
are also a
audiobooks.
thing, yeah.
You got streamers of all different variety. I mean, that's what I was talking about with my dad. I was looking the other day. My dad recently got into watching a bunch of TV shows about ghost videos, right, in the paranormal. And I started noticing there's a lot of clips that he's seen that I've seen on YouTube videos. Like, I'm not going to say any names, but there's some YouTube channels that feature ghost clips, ghost videos and stuff, or paranormal stuff. And we had the same clips, and I was like, some of the stuff me and my dad watch are the same stuff, completely different places. Makes you wonder how much that's going to overlap between YouTube and Twitch and all that stuff.
It's just so much, like, the market has become so inflated. And it's also, that also makes it hard to produce from, like, a television standpoint, because also within all of these different streaming services, they're all owned by different companies and all have different like production and censorship standards.
Yes. Now, technically, I would be paying an internet bill if my parents weren't covering me right now. But other than that, I only really pay for what I watch.
Yeah.
But I will pay, like, there's Dan Giesling is a streamer that I watch, and I like quite a bit. I'm subscribed to him on Twitch, and I don't have to be to watch his content. I just do that because I think he deserves the money, because he's a great content creator.
Yeah.
And that's how it is nowadays. You pay if you have to, or you don't even have to pay. You pay out of generosity for creators that you like.
Yeah.
And content that you like. I feel bad for satellite and stuff where they're like, yo, you need us, so we're going to charge you $100 or more a month. Ain't how it ain't anymore, Chief. That's over. Them days is gone.
I wonder if it'll be one of those things where it's like, we're talking about it here and we're like, oh, it's a generational thing. So I wonder when we're all middle-aged and we have our streaming services and all of our kids are going to be like, wow, that's so archaic.
I just auto-link download all of my shows to my brain automatically.
Yeah,
just
you
all that
guys
shit.
don't use the extranet, the hyper VR space.
It's
that,
chipping, dude.
like,
Chipping services.
yeah, I wonder if this stuff that we're talking about now is going to be our satellite,
Probably.
where we are exactly what we're talking about right now, 40 years from now.
Oh, let's be fair, we could be wrong, because, I mean, vinyl came back,
That's
Yeah.
true.
but
That's true.
the cassette tape died, so...
Yeah, that's from the era, like the 70s to the 90s, where all that stuff was cool and unique, and now it's back, it's retro, and it's cool again. Do we have anything like that? I don't think we do. We don't. Our generation doesn't really got an identity.
We got
No.
we got silly bands.
We do got
have
silly bands, yo!
We
I still have my silly bands
Subscribe
collection.
right now for a free silly band if you go to your local store and steal it.
We are... No, we do not endorse that behavior.
I don't even know if local stores sell silly
No, they
bands
don't.
anymore. Exactly, it's retro now.
Yo,
It's retro.
podcast idea for an episode, we'll go to an abandoned silly band factory and raid it.
Do you know where an abandoned silly band factory is?
We'll find it.
Google
We'll
Maps.
Scour the country.
Road trip.
We'll get the rare Harry Potter brand silly
I
band.
have those.
See?
I still have those.
Like, subscribe, and follow to find out if we'll do a silly band episode where you guys can hear us talk about hear the sound of the silly band. We'll have
I'm
Jordan.
snapping because the cheap plastic is degraded over 10 years.
Jordan will hold up a silly band to the mic and be like, "This is Harry Potter's wand silly band." Snap.
That definitely looks like a penis. It did when we were kids, and it still does now.
Oh. Yeah, I bet like
Hey, editing Jordan here with a short interlude. This is a reminder about the warning that you might have heard at the beginning of this podcast. Might have gone something like, there will be suggestive material, sexual content, and graphic language in this episode. From this point forward, you have been warned again. This is your last warning. The idiots that made this podcast are not responsible for any corruption that follows from the following material. Please enjoy.
yeah, I bet like that was so weird, wasn't it? Silly bands.
They should come back. Adult silly bands.
That's. I feel like that's just like
No,
bracelets.
it's called family planning.
You listen, okay? You said the Harry Potter one looks like a penis. Imagine if they came out with R18 silly bands. Penis. Vagina.
Are
Clitoris.
these words that we can say on the internet?
We might have to. This might just be a whole section of just bleep
Like,
sound.
technical difficulties.
Imagine if they came out with R18.
Was fallopian tube silly
I don't think
band.
that's R18. That's just a biology lesson.
Semen silly band.
What would it look
Out
like?
of everything
White,
in there,
at least.
it's just gonna be beep 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 fallopian tube silly band. Beep beep beep.
It's fun. For all they know, we were talking about that scene in Black Widow where they talk about fallopian tubes.
Here's the thing.
What?
NFTs. Hold up.
Have you not?
What?
Wait. NFTs. Hear me out.
Are
Silly
NFTs the
bands.
new silly bands?
No.
I hate.
We're gonna
NFTs.
turn silly bands into the new NFTs. So we'll make these R18 silly bands. They'll be physical NFTs. One of one areola silly band.
There's only one for each. That's just a circle.
I was about to say, I don't think you understand how silly bands work.
That one's just a rubber band. What?
They don't need to know how cheap it is to make, as long as they pay us $100,000 for the one of one silly band. And people are going to trade for it. Like, I will give you 50 of my penis silly bands for your areola silly band.
With the amount of people on the internet that do NFTs and actually believe that they work, you know.
I hate that it actually might work.
We probably could make money off that if we really tried
Or
hard
we
enough.
could just make NFTs.
Bro, I don't even care about making the money. I just want to bring silly bands back, and I think this is the best way to do it.
Why do they have to be? Why do they have to be X-rated silly bands?
They don't have to be, but I kind of want them to be. Because it'll be like, oh, they're growing up with us, you know? People will be like, it's just
it's
like
what
when
they
I was
did
a
to
kid.
iCarly, yeah.
Yes! Which was so successful.
Yeah.
So bad.
It worked. It went so well.
bad.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jordan. It's such a relatable
I
show.
watched it. It was awful.
Oh, you watched that piece of garbage?
I did.
Ravage.
No, I bought Paramount Plus for the express purpose of watching the iCarly reboot.
Man, that stuff is terrible. No one should ever try and rebring like the childhood memories back.
Well,
Which is why the NFT silly bands would work this time.
No.
We know what we're doing.
This
Do
time,
we?
wait, did you try this once before?
Huh? I didn't move states and change names. There's a reason my first name isn't attached to this podcast.
I mean, that makes sense.
The silly band AFT is looking for you.
I will
The
have to.
spaffed.
I will have to dig through and find my old silly bands though, because I guarantee they've just become a pile of dust.
I
Yo.
didn't ever actually like collect them. I think I just got them
was
and then threw
big
them
into
away
them.
afterwards.
I had a collection.
This all ties back full circle. Just like how streaming and podcasts and all that is like a new radio and new TV. NFTs are the new silly bands.
Yeah.
They're the new
Pogs.
webkins.
God,
Pogs.
they
The new
are.
Pogs. What's the other one?
Neopets.
Neopets?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone...
Beanie
someone...
Babies?
Oh,
Beanie Babies?
true. Yeah.
Someone out there, I don't think either you two are going to know this, someone out there is going to know the new UB Funkies.
I do know
What?
about
You know the
these
UB
monkeys,
Funkies?
yes.
I have no idea.
Those
what
were
you're
literally
talking about.
NFTs because
Yeah.
they were the same model with just different colors each time.
Yeah.
Just like how now NFTs are just like the
Oh,
same
wait, I
thing.
think what you're
but
talking. I think I
drawn.
know what you're talking about.
I think I had one of those.
Oh, I had many. I was a UB Funky gamer when I was 8.
I was a Webkins kid.
I was so good at the mahjong.
I've actually seen a meme that was like a girl who the caption was telling a guy who's into NFTs, oh, so they're just like Beanie Babies.
Basically.
No, it's like that new meme that's going around right now where it's like, babe, come back to bed so we can have sex. No, I'm too busy on the blockchain making NFTs. Man, that's so hot. That's why I do it, babe. That's...
I don't think I've heard of this meme.
You haven't?
I haven't either.
Well, we just replace it now. Come to bed so we can have sex. I can't, babe. I'm too busy making the one-of-one areola NFT. That's so hot. That's why I do it. That's me talking to my UB Funky girlfriend. Except it's not you be funky, she be funky, if you know what I mean.
Then it becomes Weeby Funky. Whenever
We tie the Sims into this and it becomes woohoo be funky, you know?
Bagrabanaba doom to him.
Bapanada.
Bapanada. Wow, that was so many things stacked on top of each other in like 20 seconds.
Oh, that's how we do. This, you know, we've reached peak podcast hours whenever we've lost complete sense of where we are. Like, it's not even the train got derailed, the train became an NFT.
No, the train became a silly band.
Both!
The NF Billy Band.
Who's Billy and what's his band? I don't...
He'll be here. You'll find out.
You'll like Dave.
You'll like Billy and his band.
Non-fungible Billy Band.
That's what we call the new silly bands.
What does the T in NFT stand for?
I have no idea.
Token.
Token, that's right. Because I was like, yeah, I remember non-fungible because fungible is a funny word.
It's a very funny word.
Because I think Smosh was making fun of it by calling it a non-fudgeable token and complaining that there was no fudge in NFTs.
The non-fungible radiation disaster. Yo! NFTs of national tragedies.
No! The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire.
Yes!
They locked the door.
And of course...
You said no and immediately gave.
I was possessed by the spirit of Terran.
The most common one, obviously, has got to be the Titanic. Like,
I
we're gonna
really
make
thought that
10,000
was going
prints.
somewhere else.
No!
I was really scared.
The higher the death toll, the less common it is. Or the more common it is.
Oh, so the
Oh.
pandemic will be the most
Okay.
common one?
Yeah, because no one's going to want that.
No.
No, but people are going to love it for, like, Ted Bundy. NFT. It's like, it's not really a national tragedy, but like some people die.
I mean,
and that's why it's rare. And then there's going to be the Ted Bundy stands that are going to be like, I need it. And that's when they're going to shell out like $500K.
Okay, can we take it back for a second to the phrase Ted Bundy stands?
You know they real.
They do
I
exist.
know. No, I know they're real. That's the sad part.
There's that dang Netflix documentary, thanks streaming services, by the way. And all the girls were like, low key, if he was real, I would have been killed by him.
Which is concerning.
He was real? He was real.
That's what these
Wait,
people
he was?
think. No, I've heard this exact leap in logic of like fetishizing real horrible people and like, oh my god, I could fix him. No, you couldn't, honey. You would die.
I should call her.
No, John Wayne Gacy might have been clowning around, but I would have clowned with him. You know what I mean?
That's how you end up in his crawl space.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's how you end up in his crawl space, if you know what I mean.
No!
You know what I mean.
This is gonna have to be cut. We can't talk about this.
Why can't we talk about the non-fungible
I
anal
think
sex?
it'll be funnier if it's just all bleeped for like 30 seconds.
I don't think we can air this episode.
So what we're saying is, thank you for watching. If you made it this far,
Yeah, if
we're sorry.
I'm not. If
I
you're
know
listening
you're
this
not.
far, I'm glad.
And once we get to 1 million subscribers, these NFTs are becoming real. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the one drawing them.
Once we have the funding, we will hire artists because Jordan has just refused to do it for us.
Nope, I am no.
I think you mean once we have the funging cut, because the word it sounds
Cut the tape.
similar.
Cut the tape.
Cut,
We're
wait,
done.
no,
We're
I thought
done.
it was
Turn
funny,
on.
guys. Wait, no, okay, we're back. But for real though, there's a lot of nostalgic properties that are coming back. And honestly, some of them are coming out with like the NFTs, and some of them are just trying to do their own thing. Like remember, what is it, Planters, the peanut company? They had their
Oh,
mascot
yeah. With
the
literally
baby.
die.
I actually forgot about that. Oh my god.
Was that this year?
I think it
Yes.
was. But you know who like really should come back and could probably come back with NFTs? Garfield.
Unfortunately, Garfield is coming back in the worst way possible.
Huh. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Crisp rat.
I
Chris
completely forgot about that as well. I forgot that they're making. Wait, okay. All I know is that he's voice acting Garfield. Are they making a new movie?
I
I
think
believe
so.
so. Which is unfortunate because like Bill Murray is still kicking. If you
Yeah.
want more Garfield, just get Bill Murray.
Yo, remember how they came out with the new Space Jam? Oh
Didn't
no,
watch it.
you didn't watch it?
I
You
didn't watch it.
I watched it. Spoilers for any of you that haven't watched it.
Spoilers for Space Jam.
There's a part where they make a joke calling back the first one starring Michael Jordan. And they're like, man, we really need someone to lift our spirits because we're about to lose this game. And then someone's like, I found him. I found Michael Jordan. And they do this silhouette and he's walking through fog and they're like, oh, he's going to save us. Turns out it's the actor, Michael B. Jordan.
Wow, that's so fun.
Oh my.
Yeah. They should do that in the new Garfield movie. Garfield meets his dad, Grampfield or something. I don't know. And it's Bill Murray.
It's Bill Murray.
But it can't be actual Bill Murray.
But what if it
Because
was?
what they did in Space Jam was they said it was Michael Jordan and it wasn't the Michael Jordan that everyone thought it was going to be. So it's got to be like some guy named like William Murray.
William Murray. No Murray.
Willem Dafoe.
What?
Now, I would pay.
I would pay to see Willem Dafoe
I
in a
would
Garfield
go to see
movie.
a movie that had Willem Dafoe in it. It was
It's
a Garfield,
Garfield,
movie.
yes.
You know, I'm something of a cat myself.
I can't believe. Okay, we've all seen Spider-Man.
We have.
We've all seen the new
We
Spider-Man.
have all seen Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, as Kingpin would say. Oh my god, it was so good. It was like, it was the first, this might get some people mad at me, but it was the first Marvel Spider-Man movie that I was like, this feels like a Spider-Man movie. This is a Spider-Man movie.
I can get that.
And I was just like so invested the entire time watching it. I was really satisfied with the ending. Great, wonderful, fantastic movie. I thought about that because of Willem Dafoe.
I would agree with that because I think that I really enjoyed the first two Spider-Man movies, but I think that they definitely had some pacing issues where like it was a very good story and very entertaining throughout, but certain story beats didn't necessarily come where they were not supposed to, but where they needed to continue the story progression. And some things took too long and some things didn't get enough focus. I think that the pacing on this one was really, really spot on.
Yeah, my issue with the first two when I was watching them was it really felt like it was in the MCU. It felt like it was in the Marvel universe, and for some people they might have liked that. Some people might have been indifferent on that. But I really enjoyed the charm of the Sam Raimi and the Mark Webb ones, where it was just Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man. He was the only hero in his world. Was Spider-Man. I didn't enjoy that in the MCU ones, where it was Tom Holland is Iron Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then it was the death of Iron Man, and it's all about Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and he's following Director Fury, who's not really Director Fury, and Mysterio. And then in this one, Doctor Strange was there, and there's argument to be made that he was too present, but I feel like he was there exactly enough.
Yeah. I would agree with that, because I was very worried that it was going to get the same treatment as the first one, where it was like Spidey and another superhero, and because Iron Man was supposed to be the mentor figure, but I feel like he was still a little bit too present in the first one.
Yeah.
And I like that they didn't have the other superhero there too much, and I really like the way that they handled that.
Yeah. And to think, it was such a good movie about the multiverse and everything, and it didn't even incorporate Garfield. I didn't even know they could do that.
I didn't, but Garfield is like the best Spider-Man villain.
Yeah,
I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do that I can say, but I'm gonna do something.
Good color characters.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Garfield verse is gonna pop off.
I would agree with that. Yes. Well, maybe Garfield will be into the Spider-Verse, the new Sony one. Yeah, they'll introduce Garfield and Into the Spider-Verse as the one like big villain for Into the Spider-Verse.
Think about it. Think about how present Garfield is in society, right? Think about it.
What do you mean?
Like, Garfield has been
There are
turned...
going to be people in the comments of this video that are going to be like, yeah, he's so right, so true.
Because he is.
No! He's not!
Dude.
I haven't seen a thing from Garfield in like 10 years. I used to read Garfield comic strips when I was young. That's just your background. That's your background. I mean a real legitimate piece of Garfield media.
I think you should leave.
There's a whole episode in that show about someone owning a Garfield house.
No, I was just telling him to leave.
Oh.
There is?
Yes!
Did I not watch it?
Season 1, episode 6.
It's the where they have the intervention in the Garfield house.
I don't remember.
And the Garfield house is owned by the man that killed the author of Garfield.
I do not remember.
We'll
Either you guys are gaslighting me really
It's
hard.
real!
I promise this is real.
Aside from that, though, do you not remember, like, within the past month or 2 months, I sent you that picture of the Garfield cock ring?
Okay, again.
It's lasagna scented.
Again. Real Garfield media that's like just Garfield.
I don't know, was that licensed through the Garfield, like, media representative?
I feel like anything that has Garfield's face on it might as well be at this point. I don't even think they care. They make so much stuff. I wouldn't put it past them to make a
what
cock
was
ring.
your guys' favorite scene in Spider-Man?
The one with Garfield in it?
I'm considering
Okay, no, I actually really, my favorite scene, I think, and this is probably everybody's favorite scene, and this is kind of the basic answer, was when the other Spider-Mans appear. Like, I love the way that they introduced
Both
Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
Both of them were done really well.
Both of them were done very, very well. And also, okay, I've seen this on TikTok, and this is not I'm crediting whoever it was, I don't remember who I saw the video. Somebody said that there might be an Easter egg for TikTok users in the movie by how they dress Tobey Maguire, because there's a TikToker called Youth Pastor Ryan who used to play Spider-Man, and they said that Tobey Maguire was dressed like a cool youth pastor, and so people are saying that they think that that's a nod to Youth Pastor Ryan on TikTok.
I did find it very funny, all the different comparisons to all this stuff, like Spider-Man, Tom Holland. I was in the Avengers. What? No way!
You were in a band?
You were in the Avengers? What is that?
Yeah. And then, of course, the web shooters one, which everyone
wanted to see that conversation, yeah.
You just make it?
Do you ever get a web block?
Yeah,
I have gotten a web block before, actually.
Existential dread.
You said that, and I thought, wow, web block.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, my favorite scene was probably when, the big fight was about to happen on Statue of Liberty. By the way, can I just say, I'm so glad that they knocked that stupid Captain America shield off of the Statue of Liberty.
Same.
Like, listen, I get it. It's supposed to be like, in this universe, Captain America was big hero and everything. But oh my god, that shield looked so dumb.
I think that was the point.
It looked so dumb on the Statue of Liberty.
And Roger's already got a musical. I don't think he needs a statue.
Yeah. But anyways, my favorite scene was when they were all like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do teamwork now. And then all three of them like swing around and they have that shot of all three of them swinging around together. That was my favorite scene in the entire movie because it was like you knew. It was like, yeah, Spider-Man! in that moment. But yeah, also, we had a conversation about this when we left the theater. I think there was just the right amount of fan service.
I would agree with that.
It wasn't so much that it was like, okay, come on, stop it with the fan service. But it was also enough that you were like, ah, I get that.
Matt Murdock was the attorney.
Yeah.
And he caught that break.
And he caught the break before Peter did. I'm a very good lawyer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly can't believe though that they actually put in the I'm somewhat of a scientist myself.
That was beautiful.
That I did not expect that in a million years. If you would have told me that William Dafoe says that line twice, both in Spider-Man movies,
I'd have 2 nickels.
I would have 2 nickels, which would be weird.
They actually did. They slipped in the Spider-Man meme. A lot of like whenever I first watched it, I didn't, but then I saw somebody post it was pointing out exactly where they did it. You know the Spider-Man meme where it's the 3 Spider-Men and they're like pointing at each other? That is in the movie. There is a shot. It's like it's not zoomed out like the cartoon is, but they are standing in the triangle and kind of like pointing at each other. And it was very funny.
Well, now what are they going to do? They don't got more memes left. What are they going to do for Spider-Man 4?
Make more. They could do that one of Electro and I don't remember what's the Rhino name? What's the Rhino guy's name?
Rhino.
Is it just Rhino? Okay.
Yeah.
Rhino. I didn't know if it was like.
The Rhino-nator 9000.
Not that. I was thinking like it might be something like Titanium Rhino or something.
No, it's
like
just
that.
Rhino.
No, just Rhino. Okay, I don't know my all of my. Spider-Man has so many villains.
He does.
Levi, the guy that's a goblin-looking dude and his
Okay,
brain, the man made of sand. What's his name again? What's
No,
his
he
villain?
was the Green Elf. You gotta remember that. He's not the Green Goblin now. He's the Green Elf. But yeah, no. Well, that's the thing though. Is like the Green Goblin. Arguably, most goblins are portrayed as green, so he could just be the Goblin, but not have the green adjective.
Well, no, because he needs the distinction because Hobgoblin.
I know that's what I'm saying about. Goblin. That's what I'm saying about the Rhino. Is it could have not just been the Rhino. It could have been adjective Rhino.
The Hob Rhino.
Okay, wait. I'm breaking into this tangent real quick because I said Hobgoblin. Okay, so there was a theory that Ned Leeds in this movie would become the Hobgoblin because he is in the comics. And I would like to point out that Hobgoblin's suit is yellow and blue, and Ned Leeds had the blue and yellow varsity jacket on the entire movie. So I'm calling foreshadowing right now. This is me predicting it for the next Spider-Man property. Ned Leeds is going to be Hobgoblin.
That would be funny.
I'd laugh.
Also, can we just get? I think it would be really ironic if after they did the whole thing where they were like, yeah, he totally has the Doctor Strange powers and had that thing where he was like, I'm not going to become a supervillain and kill you.
Yeah.
And he becomes a supervillain.
Well, but he doesn't remember promising not to...
That's true! I completely forgot about that.
That's why I think he's going to be the Hobgoblin, because he doesn't have that relationship with Peter.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, I never thought about that. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'd laugh.
I'd laugh.
That would be cool, I think. I was going to say something though, and I forgot what it was. It was still pertaining to Spider-Man.
We were talking about Rhino. Sorry, I broke in with a Hobgoblin
tangent. The meme of Rhino and Electro and Vulture and is it...
Oh, the Sinister Six picture?
Yes, it's all four. It's the 4 of them sitting there with the weird faces. They could do that meme somehow.
the boys.
I don't know how they would do it, but they could do it.
They would be able to fit it in somewhere.
That'd have to be some gross distortion. Michael Keaton's face does not look like a triangle.
We have all those villains now, don't we? Wow.
Don't you remember that old Garfield show?
No!
There's a Garfield show.
I do remember the old intro to the Garfield cartoon. Because once when I was really little, this was back when you still rented things from places. We rented entire 5-season long DVD of Garfield, and I watched it all in one night as an 8-year-old.
TJ got nothing on you.
and it was just a bunch of Garfield cartoons over and over again. And the intro always started with this song. I don't even remember what the song, like, I don't know if it has a name.
I bet if you heard like the first note of it, you would be able to immediately remember it.
Well, okay, no, I remember there was a song, and I remember. Wait, let me see if I can.
Do either of you remember the name of the gray cat in Garfield? Was it Normal? Okay, I couldn't remember if it was Normal or Norm.
Norm McDonald.
Yeah. What?
See you in hell, Osama bin Laden.
What?
Norm McDonald! Amazing comedian.
Is that the guy that said that he was not going to eat until Margaret Thatcher died?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot his name. I remember his jokes.
I don't think that we can play this because it is copyrighted material.
I'm going to turn it down.
It is still
They won't be
copyrighted
able to hear it.
material.
Don't you know?
They won't be able to hear it.
I can hear it through the headphones.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Are you gaslighting me right now?
Yeah, that's the song.
You guys ever hear about the YouTube channel Orange Cat?
No. I've heard of Annoying Orange.
No. Orange Cat, they just reenact Garfield comics, but in real life.
No, I have. I had to watch that for an English class.
Ha!
No, because my professor absolutely adored Garfield and like old cartoons, and it was I don't even remember what it was about, like what the principle he was trying to drive home was, but he was talking about how it was a type of theater, and we watched like 6 of those videos, and they're terrifying.
Yeah, some really weird stuff happens to Garfield's comics. Like, have you ever seen Garfield without Garfield?
Yes, those are pretty funny.
Why did they call it oven when you oven the cold food and out hot eat the food?
Oh my god, I don't get how you guys remember that so perfectly.
Because me and Noah tried to explain it to his mom on a car ride home in the middle of the night from Cedar Point, and she did not understand why we were saying it over and over and over again. She was so confused.
And then, of course, there's the really horrifying stuff that has been done to Garfield, like the I'm Sorry, John stuff.
Yeah.
True.
The Eldritch Abomination Garfields.
Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that Garfield was always an Eldritch Abomination.
That's what I'm saying, which
Like-
is why he would make a perfect NFT.
Okay, so my favorite thing with comics, though, in general, it's really good with Garfield comics, but comics in general is you just get rid of the middle 2 panels.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
always
go
funny.
from the first one to the last one.
Those are always funny in Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah. It's crazy that they made so many of those Garfield comics. You know they make one a day still?
Still?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just 3 panels.
I used to be
yeah.
all into those Garfield comics back when I was little. In elementary school, I would always rent out the Garfield books from the school library every week, like every time. Because, you know, like in elementary school, we had the like weekly, you go to the library and then get stuff, and then you would come back. Yeah, I did that. I always got the Garfield books.
See,
Same ones. We only had like 3. I just kept rereading them over and over again.
See, mine wasn't Garfield. I was real big into Calvin and Hobbes because my folks had like a gigantic compilation book of Calvin and Hobbes, and I used to read that all of the time.
There's another... I remember when Garfield came out, the author of Garfield, Jim Davis, was like, I made Garfield because I feel like there wasn't a good representation of orange cats in comics. But there was a whole nother one. I forget his name. It also sounded like an old president's name.
Yeah,
like
I feel like I
Garfield.
know what you're talking about.
I think it was like Jackson or something. No. What was his name?
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm thinking about. It's president names, but it's not exactly
It's
a
not
president
Calvin and
name.
Hobbes. No, because I can picture the cat that you're talking
Yeah,
about
right?
in the comic, but I don't remember what the
He's
comic
also
is.
an orange lethargic cat.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, though. It's not Garfield. And it's funny, because he came before Garfield. It's like Pokemon and Digimon, you know?
Mhm.
Pokemon's more famous. It came after Digimon. Garfield's more famous than whatever this orange cat's name is.
And like Oreos in the other one.
Yeah, what?
Oreos aren't the original chocolate sandwich cookie.
They aren't?
It's
No.
Hydrox.
Yeah, Hydrox cookies.
Well, no wonder they didn't last
Yeah.
long with a name like that.
Yeah.
Or like,
Garfield, but not Garfield.
Garfield, but not Garfield. I feel like you're gonna get some weird search results.
I'm getting Garfield without Garfield.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
Wait, there's an entire book you can buy that's Garfield minus Garfield?
Yes.
Ha!
I didn't realize there was an actual book.
I didn't either, actually. I just knew the people made the comics. I didn't know they put it into a book.
We really went from talking about podcasts to Garfield.
Hey, whose
Hey.
fault is it?
Listen,
laugh,
I'm
point
very
laugh.
passionate about that orange cat.
This is the first time we've had this much of a conversation about Garfield ever, I think.
He's never mentioned Garfield
That-
before today.
Today felt like the day to do it. I haven't not been thinking about Garfield. I'm always thinking about Garfield. I just hadn't been saying nothing about Garfield. You like Garfield?
I did when I was little. I'm starting to think I don't anymore.
Levi did up until 5 minutes ago.
You spitting malarkey right now.
Are you talking about this one?
No, that's also Garfield.
I just didn't know if you knew that
That's
the old
really
Garfield
old
was
Garfield.
also Garfield.
No, I forget his name. You're gonna make me look him up. His name is Baku.
The other orange cat cartoon. Well, they're surfing the internet on their phones. Okay, so I Think You Should Leave has an episode about Garfield. We were talking about it earlier, where they try to stage an intervention in the house, and this woman swears that it's Jim Davis's house and it's entirely decorated in Garfield. And she keeps derailing the intervention to talk about the Garfield house.
Heathcliff.
Yes.
This is him.
Yep.
I've never seen that.
See, because Garfield's usurped the throne. You know what they say, if you take a shot at the king, you bet not miss. Garfield ain't never missed in his whole life.
Except when he's played by Chris Pratt.
Well, we don't see about that.
We'll find out.
We will
Maybe
find
they'll-
out it will be bad.
Maybe they'll make it into, like, not actually a Garfield one. They'll turn it into the I'm Sorry John kind of Garfield. In which case, Chris Pratt playing, like, a Eldritch Abomination, that seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
It's a very, different direction than he's used to.
Although, to be fair, I think that Chris Pratt might burst into flames if he has to play an Eldritch Abomination.
But do we know who's playing John Arbuckle? Can that be Bill Murray?
Okay, no,
So
that would be
weird.
amazing. That would be
So
amazing.
weird.
Well, it'd be really... I mean, he'd be really old.
No.
But...
Bill Murray plays Odie.
Oh, like that one.
Has Odie ever talked?
No, dogs don't talk in the Garfield world. I don't think.
Well, no, it's like how Alan Tudyk has a bunch of credits on his resume that are just making animal sounds, like he's BB-8.
No, there are dogs that talk in the Garfield universe.
Just
There are
Odie
dogs that talk in the comics. It's just Odie doesn't.
Odie
Yeah,
doesn't.
just
Odie is so
Odie.
stupid
in the cartoons.
because Odie is so dumb he can't talk.
I just don't want to imagine Bill Murray being Odie because if Chris Pratt kicks him off a table, like, Bill Murray's gonna break a hip. He's gonna be hospitalized for the whole rest
Are
of
we
the
saying
movie
this is
shoot.
gonna
Are
be a
we
live
saying
action
that it's gonna be like
Garfield?
Cats? Where it's gonna be like Chris Pratt is gonna look like
God, I
human
hope
Garfield and Bill Murray is gonna look like human Odie?
Then
Y'all,
what did they do for John?
He's just a normal guy.
y'all telling me that they don't, all animated features, they don't have the actors act out what they're doing in the animated feature?
No.
Who's gonna?
What?
I was gonna say who's gonna tell him, but apparently you are.
Well, then what are they doing back there? Just talking into a microphone?
Yeah.
I'm gonna revolutionize the film industry real quick.
You're gonna invent mocap?
Mocap?
We reinvented cable, now we reinvent mocap.
Y'all ever met Joe Cap?
You know, I've actually gotten someone with a Joe Mama joke before. One time in my life.
Joe Cappin, huh?
It was, I mean, no one nowadays is gonna know who it was. I'm not gonna say the name either because I don't want the name to be out on the internet. But it was the high school nurse.
Oh,
I got her with it, and then she got me back like 6 months later.
As you should.
It was the worst
Oh, I
feeling
love
in my
her.
life ever. It's worse because I'm related to her.
Yeah.
So I see her more frequently. She had more chances.
That means she could do it again.
But yeah, no, the most proud moment in my entire life was when I actually got someone with a Joe Mama joke, and then the lowest point in my life ever was when that same person got me back with a Joe Mama joke.
man.
We do those all the time up at school. There are two people that will pull Joe Mama jokes all the time, and they get yelled at every time that they do it.
Oh,
You say Hamoud backwards.
John F. Kennedy. Wait, my bad. I meant Garfield.
Do my nuts fit in your mouth?
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
I feel like we've lost all sense of reality.
Yeah, no, we started on podcasts.
This is why we call it Not One.
Yeah, we're not very. We don't. It's not how that.
What's our time looking like? Where are we?
We're at almost an hour.
How did we do that?
Okay, well, I think that, we've gotten pretty far down the train tracks, and I think we're close to the end now, so I think this is a good place to do all the standard YouTube stuff.
Bro, we've been off the tracks. We've been like driving a train through the ocean for the past 10 minutes.
If you liked the video, like the
10 minutes,
video.
it's been
If you
half
didn't
an
like the
hour.
video, dislike the video.
Hi, this is Jordan from Nat One Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to, and we hope that you come back for more soon. If you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and the different things that we do, you can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, Castbox, and Anchor. We look forward to seeing you again soon. And hey, thanks.